for it to haunt them physically, psychologically, and they ended up on our doorstep. This was leading, this lack of integration, lack of reestablishment, was leading to issues, money issues, family in crisis, and poverty. People weren't well trained for meaningful employment, and that's the key we're finding to reestablishment. Prior to April 1st, 2006, Veterans Affairs did not have their own rehabilitation program, or more importantly, the financial support to help someone while they were going through a retraining process. People were not able to live on the disability pension check alone. In most cases, it's nowhere near enough to live on in and of itself. And so we had to make a change. So let's talk a little bit about what was and then about what is. So prior to April 1st, 2006, we had disability pensions, which were provided for service-related injuries. They are awarded on a sliding scale from 1 to 100%, depending on the extent of your injury. And with that disability pension goes the related health care benefits, and they're the same before as they are now, so I'll speak of them in the present tense. We have the Veterans Independence Program, which is a home health program that helps with things like housekeeping and grounds maintenance if you can't perform those activities because of a service-related disability. We have treatment benefits that are provided to you if you need them because of your service-related disability. And finally, if you can't remain in your own home and need to go into care in a facility because of a service-related disability, we will pay for that care. So that's what we had before. We also had case management, which is a service provided by our frontline staff to help people who are faced with overwhelming issues to break those issues down into manageable chunks, set goals, and move forward. It's a very key aspect of what we have done in the past and what we continue to do now. So now, since April 1st, 2006, in addition to the healthcare programs, we have the Career Transition Service, which, as the CMP said, is a service delivered by contracted experts. Right now, it's right management. It's available to everyone within 2 years of release to assist with things like resume writing, career choice determination, and interview preparation. We now have our own rehabilitation program. The aim of rehabilitation is to restore functioning to the maximum extent possible. And we look at it in 3 ways. We look at it physically, helping you to get as physically well as you can. We help you in what we call a life management way, which is to help you to adjust to the disability that you are left with. And wherever possible, we will retrain you to a different career. We now have the Disability Award. In lieu of a monthly disability pension, we have a lump sum disability award, which recognizes the pain and suffering that's incurred for a service-related injury. The same grades apply now as did before. They're awarded from 1 to 100%, sliding depending on the nature and extent of the disability. We provide access to the Public Service Health Care Plan, which is the equivalent to GSMIP. For those people who are unable to opt into that program upon their release, who find themselves in need of our rehabilitation program, we offer them the opportunity to opt into the equivalent, which is the Public Service Health Care Plan. It provides extended health care coverage to yourself and to your family. We have the earnings loss benefit, which is the financial support which accompanies people who are in our rehabilitation program and until 65 if they can't be gainfully employed. It provides 75% of their at-release income to financially support them. We have the permanent impairment allowance, which is a monthly allowance provided to recognize the diminished career potential that a service-related injury incurs. We have the Canadian Forces Income Supplement, which is income supplement provided to people who have completed our rehabilitation program, are ready to work, but haven't found a job yet. We have the supplementary retirement benefit, which is a lump sum amount paid at age 65 for those people who have not been able to gainfully return to work, who are on the rehabilitation program, and it's paid in recognition of their lost ability to contribute towards a retirement savings plan. And finally, the new Veterans Charter benefits provide greater access and support for families. We can now provide direct access to counseling for families. We can provide vocational retraining to spouses directly in some cases. We provide assistance with childcare while people are in school or retraining, and the extended healthcare coverage. As was mentioned by the CMP, when the new Veterans Charter was rolled out, it was always with the understanding that the benefits and services would be periodically reviewed and modified in order to continue to be relevant to the needs of modern-day veterans. Over the past 4.5 years, we've conducted and received information from really 4 main groups. The Ombudsman's Office, Veterans Affairs Ombudsman, the veterans organizations, clients, and VAC staff. And there's really 4 main areas of criticism that I would bring to your attention. The first is the payment of a large sum of money all at once may not be the best choice for some people. Second is that 75% of income at release may not be sufficient to live on if you're injured at the beginning of your career, or if you were released many years ago when salaries were lower. My daughter was injured. She was 19 years old in her 2nd year with the military. She was a cadet at RMC, making 16 grand a year. Fortunately, she was able to work her way through. It took her about a year to get well. But if she had not been able to do that, upon release, we would have paid her the equivalent at that time of a senior private salary, but not very much to live on for the rest of her life. The third area is that there's been criticism that the benefits available to those most seriously injured are insufficient. And finally, a criticism that our service delivery machinery, for lack of a better word, is inefficient. We don't process benefits and services as quickly or as efficiently as we might be capable of. So in response to that, you'll see that the government's moved forward with a number of things, which I'll outline to you now. First is the payment, the option we're moving forward with to introduce flexible options for payment of the lump sum. We have a bill currently moving through the House of Commons which will request that that the lump sum payment can be paid either as one lump sum, as a series of annual installments, or a combination of both. That can be changed at any time. As well, in this bill that's currently moving forward is the improved access to the permanent impairment allowance for those most seriously injured. When we brought in the new Veterans Charter, I don't want to say it was an oversight, we did not think of the possibility that we would have clients who were both disability pension and disability award recipients. So the new Veterans Charter referred, this permanent impairment allowance referred only to clients who were in receipt of a disability award. And so when the program became active, we inadvertently missed out on clients who may have been disability pension recipients who were receiving rehabilitation benefits who might need this permanent impairment allowance. And so as this bill is moving forward, we are seeking to change the wording so that there's more flexibility. Thirdly, the addition of an additional $1,000 per month for veterans with service-related injuries on a rehabilitation program who will never be able to be gainfully employed. And finally, the introduction of a minimum salary for the earnings loss benefit. And that will be an initial minimum $40,000 pre-tax. So those 4 benefits, those 4 enhancements are currently moving through the House of Commons. In addition, we've added 20 case managers across the country into areas where they've been needed most, predominantly around the large bases. And we're moving forward to reduce the complexity of the way we deliver services and benefits. And last week, with the help of my colleague Jean, I polled the different program managers across the various programs to ask them what actually have we accomplished so far in streamlining the way we deliver services and benefits. And the responses were, beginning in April 2011, recipients of 2 of our healthcare programs, the Treatment Benefits Program and the Veterans Independence Program, will be able to enroll so that their payments, their reimbursements, can be directly deposited into their accounts. That should shave off a couple of weeks' time in receiving money back. We have moved forward as well to cut down the length of time it takes to adjudicate rehabilitation decisions. We have, this is probably the best one in the group, exception